It's going to appear as if I'm stating the obvious over here. But one of the most important things you can do before drafting a report is actually planning the report prior to when you start writing. Now, I have a habit of taking out a blank piece of paper and I simply write down all the points that are necessary for the report to be comprehensive. And I write them down as I think of them. After that, what I usually do is I start ordering them in such a way that the report is logical and coherent and builds on itself. Now, usually that process will take maybe 15 minutes, but it's actually a critical part of compiling a framework for drafting a report. That 15-minute investment just allows that report to flow logically and to allow someone who's reading it to actually go through it in a manner that builds on itself. If you don't plan your report, you risk the danger that frequently it may seem to jump around from one point to another, and all those points don't come together in any way. So key takeaway there, put aside some time to structure the points and the order of your report. A second question I want to ask you with regards to existing reports is, did you inherit it from someone else or did you design it yourself? It's a critical question. Why? Generally, what I've found is when people inherit reports from someone else, there's a tendency to simply follow exactly the same format and populate it accordingly. The challenge with that is frequently those reports do not have a golden thread. They do not have a logical structure. You can see that the person responsible for that report is simply populating it based on a format that they've inherited. And the report itself is not coherent or very good at all in terms of communicating information or communicating logic. So if you've inherited your reports, you may use the template at the beginning as you become familiar with that particular report, but I would highly recommend after a month or two, you relook at the template that's been designed, and if you are permitted to change it so that it works in such a way that you understand it. So redo the template, and if you need to submit it to your superior to say, I've rejigged this template according to A, B, and C, and it's actually better as a result, do that. If you understand the template better, you'll actually be able to write the report a lot better. And doing your own template builds a much more logical structure and presents a clearer message, which is aligned in terms of what you're thinking and what the user requires for this particular report. Another essential thing is connecting the dots in reports. And we come across it again and again and again, where reports are giving us a lot of information, and that information is important and it's vital and it needs to be there. But the report writer has not connected the dots. They haven't integrated the analysis. There isn't a golden thread that is explaining to me what the information is, why it is important, and why piece of information A affects B, which affects C, which affects D. So connecting the dots and having a golden thread is absolutely essential in making that particular report that you're writing useful. In addition to that, instead of simply giving information in terms of what happened in the report, we need to answer some simple questions as part of the report writing process as well. Why did it happen? What was the cause of this? And so what if it happens? What are the implications of this? So rather than simply putting a difference, it's under or it's over, right? Why did it happen or how did it happen? And so what? What are the consequences of this particular observation that you made. It's important that you bring out the implications of the particular report.